Good afternoon and welcome to Executive Business Alliance Chicago. We're here with you today live streaming. For those of you who are in our viewing audience, you can go to ebacalliance.com. You can go to our Facebook page, which is Executive Business Alliance, or you can stream with us on YouTube at EBAC, EBAC. That is our channel, and please subscribe while you are there. This afternoon, we have an exciting afternoon for you. Today, we have an amazing guest. We're going to start off by coming with our CEO, Mr. Albert Burks Jr., who has several businesses, has been in business and entrepreneur for over 40 years, and is developed a small and home-based business development company, which is Executive Business Alliance Chicago. And we're here today. Our team is here. We're excited. We're going to hear today about minority certifications. It is very important that we build our communities, and we're going to talk to you about that in a little bit. But right now, let's bring to you Mr. Albert Burks Jr.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Boy, I'm so glad to be here. This is another Saturday. We've been here every Saturday for the last, 5 weeks, right? Yes. Okay, and we got one more Saturday to go next week. Every Saturday from 1 to 4. This is a series of classes. It's 6-week classes. And so this is the 5th week of this class. After the 6th week, we're going to cancel until next year for 1 o'clock. Next year, January the 2nd, probably, whatever week that is. We'll get that information out to you. But in the class now is free. But in January, it will not be free. Today, we are going to be talking about minority certification. You should call your friends, call your business associate. We are going to help you to have an understanding about attaining a minority MBE, DBE, BEP, PBE, VMB, WMBE. All of that stands for minority certification. There is money out here, people. There is money out here, billions and billions of dollars. And we are so fortunate to have a personal friend of mine. He's the executive vice president of EBAC. He came all the way from Indianapolis by way of Washington, D.C. Yes, yes. Okay? And his specialty is contract. He is the gentleman that writes the contract for the military, for ships or other countries. And he knows a lot about the certifications program. So he's going to do his piece. I'm going to do my piece. I'm going to be talking about local, regional, county, and state certification. I have been helping people to attain those certifications. It is a process. It is a long, tedious process. I get mad at you, you get mad at me. Okay? But I'm in your life. But once you get those certifications, you are entitled to 10% set aside money. That's right. 3%. The government have money they are looking to buy from us. And now you know what our theme is. Our theme is that we buy back your life, or you buy back your life through business ownership. We take your passion and your vision and we turn it into a business. And we build better business for a better world. All of this is inclusive. All of this to help you start your business and then also to be able to take advantage of what the government have for you. So we're going to get started. And I want you to bear with us because I tell you this right now, it is a process. And some of the things that you're going to hear today, you're probably going to shake your head. And the reason that many minorities do not attain this money because they give up too soon. They give up. There's millions and billions of dollars out here. And we don't have the patience to go through that certification process. So today, we're going to give it to you free. But as of January, it's a new story. Okay? So let's get started. The Illinois Department of Human Services buys products and everything from food to lawn care, furniture, office equipment. They actually buy it from us. But you have to be certified. You have to meet the requirements. And this is what we are here to help you do. In the fiscal year 2018, more than $305 million were paid to small business. Did you get your part? No. Okay. 84.1% of payment by the state agents went to small businesses. It's a lot of money out here. 1 in 2 businesses attain contracts. And you want to know something? When I started this process, I used to hear they say they could not find minority businesses. And there's many of us own businesses. The problem, we were not certified. We did not meet the qualification. And I will be telling you what it is that you need to meet those qualifications. You're registered in the Illinois Procurement Gateway. This is the website. It's the vendorreg.com, the Illinois IPG.vendorreg.com. When you join the EBAC Alliance, we're going to help you. I don't expect you to remember all of this, but I wanted to make sure that it is registered in your brain. So therefore, when we do meet at our gathering, and I explain things to you, and the staff work with you, that you won't be a deer in the headlight. You at least have some understanding what's going on. A small business means one that is independently owned and operated, is not dominant in its field of operation, and meets the required size, $75 million or less. Isn't that a beautiful thing? No wholesale business can exceed $13 million in annual sales. No retail business can exceed $8 million in annual sales and receipt. No construction company can exceed $14 million in annual sales and receipt. No manufacturing business can employ more than 250 persons. Now, this is money. This is money necessary. If you meet those requirements, there's more money for you. Just to give an understanding, when they're talking about minority certifications and who are the minorities, I put this up here because I really want you to have an understanding. When whites they are called prime. Many people who attain the original contract, they are called prime. Minority are called subprime if they are not the prime. In other words, if they have to work under someone, they are called subprime. And it used to be the time where they said, okay, a minority was a female, right? And so the female could be of any persuasion. But now they are being more specific because they are saying African American, Hispanics, Asians, and so on. And I'm going to tell you this right now. I know when I do research, I am finding out that other cultures are attaining this money, but the African Americans are not. This is one of the reasons that I went into this. I was teaching at a college for the carpentry program. And there was 2 things that they was confronted with to keep us from having this money. First was the union. And the second, because we didn't have the certifications. So if you look at this, it says black or African American, non-Hispanic, all persons having origin in any of the black racial groups of Africa. So understand, when you're looking at this, if this meets your qualifications, you need to get on board so we can help you to attain some of this money that is set aside. There's 2 primary steps toward the state of Illinois public contracts. You have to meet these 2 steps. First, non-discrimination policies. I help you put that together. The second one, a written sexual harassment policy. In fact, the state even gives you a sample, and they accept that sample as your policy. And I want you to understand, when you come to EBAC, I take you through the whole process. We are notaries. There's a lot of affidavits to be made and notarized. And believe me, I know this process. I don't fuss with many of you. Equal employment opportunity. In the event of contract non-compliance, if you are non-compliant and you practice discrimination, you will be declared ineligible. You understand? They are saying that any person who have a contract cannot discriminate against you. But I'm gonna keep it real. How many of us have contracts out there? You know, I have gone to many of the meetings that they have under the procurement and under the contracts, and I'll see our people at the top of these organizations, and we still don't get the contracts. That's a problem. So I feel this way. Let's do all the paperwork and eliminate the excuses. Okay? The contract may be declared ineligible for future contracts or subcontract with the state of Illinois or any political subdivision or municipality. The contract may be canceled or void in whole or part, and such other sanction or penalty may be imposed if you discriminate. If you are being discriminated for having those, then you need to look into this. The contractor agrees that it will not discriminate against any employees or applicant of employment because of race, color, religious, sex, all of Title VII. Okay? Or any unfavorable discharge from the military services, and further that it will examine all jobs classification to determine if minority person or women are underutilized or would take appropriate affirmative action to rectify. We know it's not happened. We know it's not happened. You know, so you see, I do have a passion when it comes to this. Because guess what? We need to buy back our lives, right, in business ownership. And this would help you. This would help you. There's no excuses. There's millions and billions of dollars out here. The federal contractors. It prohibits federal contractors and subcontractors and federal assisted construction contractors and subcontractors that generally have contracts that exceed $10,000 from discrimination against you. If they are receiving $10,000 or more, they cannot discriminate against us. Okay? Based on the Title VII's, sex, race, color, religion, and national origin. It requires cover contractor to take affirmative action to assure that equal opportunity is applied. Now, the second, sexual harassment policies. All companies must have a sexual harassment policy. It is required. And one of the things that we would help you do is to be able to put this policy together. This requirement applies regardless of the number of persons employed or the dollar value of any public contract. You know, sometimes they, you know, when you deal with EEOC violation, they say 15 or more. This has nothing to do with you having 15 employees. No, they cannot discriminate against you based on public contract, no matter what number of employees do you have. Okay, make that understandable. Sexual harassment policy. No company without a sexual harassment policy will be issued an IDHR number, Illinois Department Human Rights number. A lot of people apply for these minority contracts, have no idea you must get a IDHR resource number to do business with the state. You can have a MBE, you can have a DBE, but if you don't have this number, you can't do business with the state of Illinois. We make sure that you get this number. The sexual harassment policy is only an example of a policy which covers each requirement of Section 2105. We're not going to go through this whole thing, okay? But this is the disclaimer. Employee policies shall always be tailored to each employee's circumstances and need. So as we sit down with you and we go through these sexual harassment, you're going to have a total understanding how important it is to have this policy right here. The elements of your sexual harassment policies. A statement that sexual harassment is illegal. Okay? The definition of sexual harassment under the Illinois Human Rights Act. A description of the act constitutes a sexual harassment with examples. The vendor internal complaint procedure. You got to have a procedure. If there is a sexual harassment, then you have to have a procedure. What did I say when we said we first start a business, you must have a what? A compliance and what? A compliance and ethics division. Because that is the person that oversees all of this. This is just a sample of a sexual harassment policy. It is written by the state. All you have to do is put your name right here, put your name right there, put your name right there, and print it out and submit it. Because I guarantee you, when you apply for your minority certification, they're going to ask for it. They're going to ask for it. So you don't have to go and do research. It's right here. I'm not going to go into and show you because that was the example, but this slide right here to actually show you that same sample. Illinois Department of Human Rights plays a big part in you attaining certification. The Illinois Department of Human Rights. Many people have no idea that they had to register. And let me explain to you. When you register with this Illinois Department of Human Rights and you go down and you have to take your money, do you know you have to have an envelope? You put the application in, you put the money order in, you have to seal it up in front of them and sign your name that no one tampered with it. That's how strict it is. Okay? The number is your proof that you registered with the state of Illinois or any state, no matter what state you might be in. Now, I'm talking about Illinois because we here, but this applies to every state. Check with your state. Illinois, the Department of Human Rights. To be eligible to bid on state contract, you must complete and provide the following. That form is the PC1. It's the first time application form. If this is your first time applying for that resource number, you must fill out this form. And you make a check payable to the Illinois Department of Human Rights, and that cost is $75. Okay? If you were to do it online, you can visit vendor online registration at the Illinois.gov Department of Human Rights Public Contract. We'll have that available for you, so if you need that, but you can go online, and all you have to do is call the Illinois Department of Human Rights. All of it is there. It's called Illinois Department of Human Rights Certification, and all of that information is there for you. I normally, when I was teaching class in the college, I would bring it up so we can go and play around with it, but of time, we got so much to talk about, so I'm not going to bring it up online, okay? The renewal application. There is a renewal application. So once you fill out that PC1 for the first time, and at the expiration period, because every year you have to apply, then they have a renewal application that you must complete. Now, that was the Department of Human Rights, right? Oh, that's just one of them certification. Let's go to the Business Enterprise Program. This is another certification. When I normally help people get their certification, my people get this. They get the resource number. They get the BEP certification number. I get them 2 MBEs and a DBE. And if they are a woman, I get them the women minority certification. If they are vet, the veteran certification. The Business Enterprise Program promotes the economic development of diverse businesses, okay? Those owned by minority, women, and persons with disability. You remember when we was talking about building a company, right? And we said issue shares. You remember we was talking about that? When you issue shares, and I said that I normally issue what? 100,000 shares, common stock, voting shares, right? But I will issue to the person who incorporated 51,000 shares of that 100 because that gives you 51% ownership. Even if you issue 500 shares or 1,000, you always want to issue one share more because you are the owner of that company, and that your policies and your bylaws specify how many votes. And it says you got one vote per share. If I got 51,000, it always beat 49,000, right? Okay? And this is what they're going to ask you for. You have to meet the requirement in order for you to be the minorities. A company may be certified as a diverse business under the BEP if the following criteria is met. At least 51% owned and controlled by persons who are minority, women are designated as disabled. Must be a United States citizen or resident alien, and the annual gross sales of less than $75 million. That's all of us, including me, especially me, okay? Because if I had $75 million, y'all probably be talking to our CAA, because I'd be somewhere else, you know, trying to figure out how I can get 76, okay? But the BEP program is a beautiful program, and check with your state to find out do they have a business enterprise program available. That's another certification. Do you understand when you walk to a company, especially a prime, and they know that you got an MBE and a BEP, they are happy because they must have fulfilled and satisfied that 10%. And if you are a woman, they will love you because there's more benefits. Don't y'all? Y'all don't understand. I am so glad. That's why I'm so glad. I told Mr. Crump, I said, boy, when you came to the door, I was happy. Because guess what? What did I say when you first started your business? Always become a student, right? I know a lot of this, right? But he getting ready to kick this, make it a home run, a field goal, and everything else. And I'm going to be sitting right there soaking it in. Last year, the state awarded nearly $400 million to BEPs. I didn't say MBEs. To the Business Enterprise Certified Company and the state agency and university. Do you understand the university also must fulfill the certifications? To spend at least 20% of their procurement budget with certified BEP company. The colleges and the university, they also must use minorities. We don't hear too much about it, do we? The requirement, when you register as a vendor with the state, there's a requirement. And now we talk about the BEP. This is another one, the vendor's registration with the state. You got to have your FEIN number. Did we not talk about that when we talk about business development? Then you have your Illinois Department of Human Rights number. You got that now? The Illinois State Board of Elections registration number. Did you know you have to register as a minority certified with the Board of Elections? How many people knew that? I went to a expo, and it was for minorities, and I had just got this gentleman everything. I mean, he had everything. So we were sitting at the table, and the people was talking, you know, eating your lunch, and they says, well, I have my MBE. And then somebody said, well, you know what, I have a WMBE. So they asked him, they said, what do you have? He said, I got 2 MBEs, DBE, BEP, IDHR. They said, what is all of that? And I'm sitting there with him laughing. And some people say this, Well, the state said they're going to help us, the city. No, they're not. They will. They will bring you down there, but do you think they'd have that much time to spend in one day? It takes, I don't know how long to go through all of this. And you walk out of there just as confused as you have been when you went in there. I went there and I was laying stuff out to the people, and they said, my God, you got everything. And one of the workers said, I think you know a little bit more than some of the lawyers do. Because they don't have time to spend a lot of time. They know, but they don't have time to spend a lot. We at EBAC, we research this stuff. We research it. Authorization to do business in Illinois from the Secretary of State. You have to be registered. Your company must be registered. They want to know who you are before they give you $20 million. The name of the company's owners. They're going to ask you so many questions. Wait till you see this form I'm going to show you. They're going to ask you so many questions about the owners. Company financial information. List board of directors if registered as a not-for-profit entity. You got to list your board of directors. They want to know everybody in your house that's going to benefit from this money. To enroll in a small business set-aside program and to apply for a business enterprise program, they have forms in there. And these forms give you the permission to sell to the state, the city, the county, and so on. This is a process, but it's not as hard as you think it is. Let's go to the Veterans Business Program. Through the Veterans Business Program, state agents and universities are encouraged to spend at least 3% of their procurement budget with certified veteran-owned business. I know Mr. Crump is going to talk about that. If you are a veteran, and you got a business, you are entitled to additional monies. Take advantage of that. And EBAC will help you. We'll help you put all of this stuff together. Who qualifies in Illinois? Illinois business with an annual gross sale under $75 million that are 51% owned by one or more qualified service disabled vets or qualified veterans living in Illinois or your state. Or your state. You must register to receive procurement opportunity with the state of Illinois, and also can register electronically to receive email notifications and to download posting from the Illinois Procurement Bulletin and the higher education procurement. That's the colleges. But they have bulletins that they send out talking about all the money, the bids, and everything that is available to you. It's just a matter to do some research. Although registration with both bulletins is not necessary to browse the site, registration is required to download solicitation and to receive email notification for all solicitation, attendance, and award notice. You have to register. They want to know who they're sending this stuff to. These are just some of the colleges in Illinois. Check with your state colleges to see if your college have the procurement. They have procurement office, just like purchasing councils. Okay, Chicago State University. We know that university, right? In the hearts of the South Side of Chicago. That's right. And they got money that is allotted to us. Eastern Illinois, Governor State, Illinois State University, Uptown, Northern Illinois University, University of Carbondale, Southern Illinois, SIU Medical School, University of Illinois at Chicago, University of Illinois at Springfield, University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, Western Illinois. These people got money and we're not taking advantage of them because we don't have the certifications. So it's more than just the city, it's the colleges that got money. We are throwing money away, right? And then we see our children juking on the corner for some uniforms, and the money is there. Application for service disabled veteran-owned small businesses or veteran-owned small businesses. Veteran applicant may apply to be certified in both. If you are a veteran or you're a disabled veteran, you can be certified in all of this. Once you have completed the veteran certification form and gather all the requirements, supporting documents, you have two options to get the completed application and form to the state of Illinois Department of Central Management Service. You ever seen that building? That building is massive. They buy everything. And if you, I don't care if you have a mom pop organization, you should be able to put your paperwork together and get some of this money. It's not word of mouth to the people in the neighborhood. Do you know they buy cakes? Do you know that? How many of you can cook cheesecakes, pound cakes? They buy everything. Fork, spoon. They used to have them $1,200 spoons. You used to buy. You could use the Central Management Service Veteran Certification online application to submit the form through your computer. If you do not have a state of Illinois ID, just click on Create a State of Illinois ID link and create one. And after you have created a state of Illinois ID, you click on the Veteran Business Program Certificate to sign in and begin the upload process. These are just steps. I don't expect you to remember all of that, but they are steps to make things happen. And EBAC, we can turn around and help you with all of this. The Board of Election. As a result, certain business entities will be required to register with the State Board of Election. Why? Because of a lot of influence from politicians. They want to know who's messing with you. Okay? All right? If a business entity is not initially required to register, exceeds the $50,000 threshold, if you exceed the $50,000, then you must register with them, okay? We're going to come back in a few minutes. I'm going to finish up, and then we're going to move to the other part, the federal and the county real quickly. Because you see, I'm going through this kind of fast, you know why? Big money is with the federal. And let me tell you this right now. All the states, the city, and all of them, they just a byproduct of the federal program. And when you understand the federal program, you will understand the locals in the city. And when they talk smack to you, refer back to the federal. Okay? So let's take a break. And please get on the telephone, call someone who owns a business and tell they're talking money. They're talking real money now. They're talking money, okay? And have your friends to listen in. All right? Let's take a break. I'm out of here.